Hello, Body Slams podcast fans, and thank you for tuning in to Thursday Night Slam. And I am one of your pro wrestling analysts. I don't want to say host no more or co-host. It sounds I don't know, but analyst sounds better. I'm Chio Frost, and the man sitting next to me is another color commentator analyst himself.
Analyst.
Anal, yeah,
Yes.
analyst. And
T.Reyes, Tony Reyes, leader of the new school. Actually, 20 years ago, so I'm pretty old school now.
oh yes, most definitely. He is pretty old school, as I might say. And
Mhm.
we have a great show for you tonight. But I'm not gonna. But you already know from checking out who our guest is by when you log on to our page and you see our upcoming events, it's Dylan Mesh for tonight. I worked very hard and diligently trying to persuade this guy. The request of things he wanted. He wanted like all the best M&Ms and stuff. He only wanted the green ones. He wanted his own locker room. I can't, this guy's a superstar. He's like I don't know. I can't deal with that. You know what? I might just kick him off the show right away as soon as he gets on.
Listen, all he asked for was a microphone and a clampy light on my end. I don't know what he's asking on your end.
Look. I couldn't, Dylan. I hope you hear me, but I couldn't get you the hookers you wanted. All right. The redhead was taken for tonight. It is what it is. So we just have to roll on with the show the way it's gonna be. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nobody ever gives me the notes for these things.
But you know what? We're missing a couple people, but let's bring them in the room. Our other analyst extraordinaire, Mr. Dennis Reaper.
Top analyst.
Yes. How you doing?
Whatever you said, I could understand. Yes,
cool.
I got a corona. Not the virus, the alcohol.
You sure? Okay. That's what's up. And
oh man.
Our other buddy, the better Bernard, the Saint Bernard, Mikey.
Hey, everyone.
Up, brother? How's it going?
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah.
This is the people's analyst.
Hey, Mikey. Yeah, the people's analyst. Mikey, I don't know if you saw earlier, but you guys probably did. I seen your brother's new logo for his new show. Did you see it?
No, I did not.
I did.
It was
what is the logo?
Yeah, it was the 2-inch penis
PG.
club. It's a 2-inch penis club.
Wow. And you call yourself the A Show? Come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, real.
Not the-
Respect, Pat. How dare you? This is
you sure there's not a G and a Y around that?
Folks,
it's a family show. God damn it! I don't know what the fuck's his problem for doing that stuff. Wait, hold up. Did I just curse? Wait, that's right, because this is Thursday Night Slam. This ain't Breakfast and Body Slams, which Breakfast and Body Slams is Devereaux Sports original pro wrestling podcast. And I'm sure people are starting to notice that that I'm mumbling a little bit. So yeah, just to let the cat out of the bag, why not now instead of later on? I had some dental work done, and Big Daddy here, if you look in real quick, see how shiny they are? Yeah, I got some old man dentures in. That's right.
Pearly whites.
Yeah.
I'm like next.
I see Dennis over there laughing away. I'm like, prick.
Listen.
I know he got shit to say.
I would have made fun of you saying it looks like you got a bunch of chiclets in your mouth. But they would fall out. They would have already fallen out.
Oh yeah.
But I can't make fun of you because see, I have teeth falling out. So I'm coming up to that road eventually.
Well, I just want everyone to know, if you guys ever get a tongue ring, please make sure to switch out the metal stud into a plastic one, because that's what happened to me. Unfortunately, I was using the metal one constantly. It split the bottom teeth in half, So I have a little V shape in the middle, and from clacking the ball across my gum line and the teeth, it wore down the enamel. So over time, throughout the years, food and drink, the sugar and all that stuff got inside the cracks, and they rotted from the inside out. Which on the outside, they look great until eventually it started showing. But it is what it is. I made a mistake. If I would have known a lot sooner to switch out that gauge, I would have done a lot, and I probably would still be here with my normal teeth. So if you're out there and you're getting a tongue ring, make sure you switch over to the plastic. You don't want to end up like me. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of giving the shout-outs to our Devereaux Sports family out there, none other than the Gobbler Inc., the Sullivan Squad, the Scrapple Boys, the Old Heads, the Combat Misfits. We don't got our redheaded stepchild new show back yet, not the new one yet, but we do have our affiliates, the guys that were just on prior to us, Anthony, Andy, and Brian, and there are other guests that they had on tonight. They were discussing the Intercontinental Championship on the Tornado Tag Podcast, as well as the two Daves, Dave Keener and DB Richards, on the 2300 Wrestling Podcast, as well as our guys all the way from Puerto Rico,
Conversiones de Lucha Libre.
I don't know. I think you mumbled more than I. Conversación de Lucha Libre. Go ahead.
No, you speak.
Mikey,
now.
you do it.
No.
Come on, Mikey. You can
I'm
do it.
gonna
buddy.
butcher it up. I'm gonna butcher it.
That's the whole point.
It's like conversation.
Conversiones de Lucha Libre.
Yeah, what he said. Come on, say it, Mikey,
Yeah,
one time.
what he said. Wait, say it again and then I'll say it.
Conversación de Lucha Libre.
Oh, Conversación de Lucha Libre.
Yes, he got it.
Next week he has to say.
Yeah, next week you're saying it for sure.
All right, I'll say it next.
You know what? Without further ado, I know I'll probably get shot. For this guy, if I don't bring him in the room right now, he's gonna be like some other old school wrestler and pull that Glock out when they're trying to rob him, if you know what I'm saying. None other than Dylan Mesh. Booyah!
Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? How's it going?
What's up, brother? How's it going? Let me give you the big screen.
Not too bad, not too bad. Gio, I got in here despite the fact that those green M&Ms haven't shown up yet, so I'm gonna trust that
I'm sorry. I apologize.
What about the hookers?
Amazon didn't get them to you right away.
Hold on, whoa. He gets M&Ms and I don't.
You got Corona.
Well, you know what? At this point,
That's
with
true.
Gio
You
and his
did
teeth
provide
issues,
the alcohol. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Chio's kind of getting to the point where he's not going to be able to eat certain stuff with the way that his teeth are going right now. So me and you can kind of split those and take the ones he wouldn't be able to do.
What I think this is tremendous that we have you on the show tonight. Why? Because just recently, you actually surprised us in Hamburg. You wasn't on our pop-up show in Hamburg, but you surprised us as well as Outbreak Wrestling by debuting that night in Hamburg, PA.
That is correct. And, of course, I mean, like almost anything in wrestling, there's a very silly story that goes with that. So I am pretty close with the Paw, Marcus Schuyler. He trains with me at the Worldwide Dojo in Bristol, Pennsylvania. And he was like, hey, me and Mike Swanson are doing this convention in Philly, and then do you want to come up to Hamburg with us afterwards? Absolutely. Why not? Well, get to the 2300 arena, and he's like, hey, can we take your car? And I was like, absolutely not. This is your drive. This is your show. We're not taking my car. You're not doing that to me. Well, he pulls up in his. I hop in, throw my stuff in. We get up the highway. We're not even 3 minutes on 95, and he goes, we got to turn around and take your car. I'm like, why? Nothing is wrong. He goes, look at the heating. Look at the heat meter. It's going up. I said, why? He was like, well, I got in an accident a little while ago, and I think I cracked my cooling. I was like, thank you for letting me know that now. So he pulls over on 95, and this is on that section of 95 where like the shoulder is like 2 inches wide. He just nonchalantly pulls over, opens the driver's side door with these insane Philadelphia drivers, and just gets out, somehow doesn't die, and pops open his hood. He looks at it, he's like, yeah, it's a little low. He goes to shut his hood, it won't shut properly. It's not latching. So he goes boom, boom, boom. But he does it 6 times. I go, get back in the damn car. We are going back to the arena. We are taking my car. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die for the sake of your shit box. So he does 30 miles an hour all the way down to the exit. We go back around. We get in my car, and now we have to fly up the highway so he can make call time in Hamburg. And I get there, and I say hi to everybody, including you guys. And then I'm standing there just hanging out, getting ready to just watch the show. And then I'm told, hey, can you wrestle in 25 minutes notice? Like, absolutely, I can. And what happened.
And what surprised me was the new look you had. Can you explain that to me? Because before for the time that we know each other, I remember you. Now correct me if I'm wrong. The character gimmick, whatever, was more of a steampunk type from what I saw.
That's a testament to how long me and you have known each other. So I started wrestling in 2017, and I think me and you met. I'm not on like my third.
Yeah,
or fourth
you had
show.
the plain black tights. It was just plain black, and you had the goggles, and then little by there, you just start to added color a little bit here and there, and you added the vest, jacket, and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, very similar circumstances. When I had my first match, it was on a 4-day notice, and I was like, well, got tights. So I went to good old High Spot and got those express delivered. I was like, give me those long tights. I don't know if they're going to fit or not, but they're going to have to do. And yeah, I had those, stuck with those for a little while. And then I added the goggles just because I had them laying around. Why I had welding goggles, I don't know. But I was like, well, you know what? I'm wearing plain black tights. I'm like, I got to do something to look like a little memorable people. So I threw on the goggles, and I'm like, got a denim vest. It makes a little more sense than the goggles to have in my home. Threw that on too.
And you know what? I really like the goggles a lot because it reminded me of. Have you ever watched any Highlander movies?
I have seen. Oh God, I watched the first one a long time ago.
It would be part 2. Like it's
okay.
When that's when he's older before he becomes young again. Those guys that were flying around on those like hoverboards or whatever, and they had the goggles. That's what it reminded me of when I first saw you wearing them.
I've also gotten.
I really dug that too a lot.
I've gotten Atom Bomb too, which that's an honor. Mine aren't as colorful as his, but the problem with those things were they were legit welding goggles, and as you can imagine, the lenses on those have to be pretty thick and they have to be pretty dark. So when I put them on and I went through the curtain, I can hardly see anything. Not people, not steps I have to go down, not a ramp, nothing. So yeah, when you saw me doing my entrances back in the day, I was kind of terrified for my life, trying to move around. So
I believe I think it was when I first started meeting you. I believe it was at Lucha Libre Live.
It definitely was.
3L.
It definitely was.
Because you and was it Eli Isom? Yep. And his partner was Ryan. What the hell was his name?
It was Ryan.
It was
Nova.
a tag team. It was the guy with the red. He had red hair, right?
Yeah, it was Ryan Nova and now Ryan Moody. Yeah. Both of them are killing it in ROH right now.
Yeah.
Yes. We were on a lot of those shows back in the day. Definitely where I met you, and those were a lot of fun, don't you think?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I actually missed them.
So
there's times where I'll get Carlos calling me up. Chio, my friend, buddy, give me a call. Because he needed something or whatever. And from there, I started to see you at shows like Dog and
Mm-hmm.
then you had then I see you carrying the team of you and Dave Daw. You know, you're trying to carry all that weight on your back. I see
Man,
Dennis looking at me. Yes, I said Dave Daw. I love Dave Daw. No lie. He's a good dude.
yeah, it's a good thing that I have a pretty regular deadlift routine because my back can usually handle it. And then yeah, you've seen how that goes.
So right now in the beginning here, we jumped around a little bit, but let's
Mhm.
go back, way back, like almost like an old school MC. We're gonna go way back, old school. Who was some of your favorite wrestlers as a kid growing up? Did you actually watch wrestling growing up, or did you get into it
Right, what got
at a
you
later
into it?
age?
So I grew up just being fortunate at the age that I am. As I was growing up, I was born in '94, so right at that age where I could like, where you start forming memories and like really just start forming your personality. It was like right when wrestling was super hot. So like if you didn't watch wrestling, like it dominated American culture. Like I remember in school, like even people who didn't watch wrestling, everyone knew like most of the wrestlers like in WCW and WWF and knew like details about them that like if you ask people like on the street right now, they wouldn't know a lot of that stuff about people wrestling right now. So like I was pretty aware of it, and then I remember in 2002 my parents were split up and my dad started doing this thing when I would visit him where he would put on the WWF pay-per-views to like get me to sit down and just shut up and like just keep my attention so he could just like go hang out or whatever, like go
It
smoke a
worked.
bong and just like stay away from the kids. Yeah. And I remember it was like Judgment Day 2002, and like that was the first pay-per-view I watched, and like I was just completely hooked. And yeah, the Triple H and Undertaker were just coolest guys in the world to me. I don't know what it was. Probably the violence, to be perfectly honest. One of them was grabbing people by the throat and throwing them down. The other was literally swinging a sledgehammer at people, and I was just like, "You guys are my heroes," which probably explains a lot about me. But those two for sure, definitely in those early years, are just like, "Oh my god, the greatest men walking the earth. I need to be like them." Maybe that explains the denim vest, actually.
Well, I guess the way you explain it, your first, I guess your main memories that you brought up was guys who their characters were larger than life. You got the Undertaker, the Phenom, then you got Mankind. Uh, you know, it's like these are like horror flick characters. It's like
Yep.
remembering Jason and Freddy Krueger, guys like that.
Michael Myers.
That's never gonna. Michael Myers as well. Um, it's characters that's not gonna leave your memory for a very long time at all.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense when you start connecting those dots. And as I look back, I mean, it's just such a it was such a time of like not I don't know if you'd call it sensationalism, but just the stuff that they were doing was so over the top. Like I have this vivid memory of just like people swinging at it. It was some episode of Raw, and people were just like swinging at each other in the back, like throwing each other through glass. And I'm like a 5-year-old child, like what am I looking at? And that's that's not just like I don't know if I was necessarily supposed to be watching that, but I turned it on. Was viewing it somehow, and just like
This
God,
is interesting.
yeah, like the stuff that they were doing, just and I think that Judgment Day '02 pay-per-view was critical for me as well, just because if you remember that one, there was a Hell in a Cell match on that, and back in the day, God, those were incredibly violent, at least for WWE
Yeah, they
standards.
were.
And
Yes, they were.
Chris Jericho and Triple H bled everywhere. Tim White got thrown into the cage. His career was ended. I remember they had that shot at the end. The match ended on top of the cell, and they had a shot where the camera was looking up, and Jericho's blood was dripping onto the lens. That probably did something to me that, just stuck with me. But I have such vivid memories of them just like pushing things further and further. And I don't know, maybe that's what kept me watching.
So now, fast forward, at later on in life, when you decided that, hey, or when did you find out that, hey, there's actually wrestling schools out there that I can attend to try to become a wrestler? At what was you still in high school or after you got out?
So, I mean, I had was a relapse fan, kind of like a lapse fan at a couple points, but for the most part, wrestling was like my thing for most of my life. So like just being as like deep into it as I could, like I knew there were schools out there, but at the same time, I came to learn so much about the lifestyle and stuff like that. I was like, I'm never doing that. It's insane. Look what these people are never home. Their bodies are destroyed. Their families like seem to hate them. That's the way everyone describes them. It's just like, I don't know. It's like that is not for me. It's cool that I can watch them. That's not for me. For whatever reason, that changed. Like in December of 2016, I graduated from college. I graduated summa cum laude from Westchester University, and came out of college, and I was like, I have no idea what the hell to do next. I was like, let's do something insane. Wrestling. That sounds great. It sounds like the great next logical step coming out of college. So I started researching schools in the area, and the three I remember looking at closest were the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey, what was the Chikara Wrestle Factory in Philly, and then what was the Ring of Honor Dojo, which was in Bristol at the time. And
Gotcha.
I weighed my options, and I ultimately I got in touch with the people at Ring of Honor's Dojo, and I went over there. I got to meet Will Ferrara and Cheeseburger, now world famous CB, and I got signed up, and then I started there in late January 2017.
And then apparently, I guess the dojo ended up moving to what I think the Maryland or Virginia area or somewhere like that. I think.
So they're down in
the actual
Baltimore.
RH dojo. Yeah, and then Cheeseburger. Well, CB took over the old dojo, and it was renamed the Worldwide Dojo.
Yep.
Am I correct?
So,
right.
Yep, right on all accounts. Ring of Honor, I guess at one point just decided that they wanted to sort of expand all their resources. They had an idea for the future and how they wanted to cultivate their future stars. So they had a fair bit of space down there.
I'm thinking it probably would have had a lot to do with them moving location. I'm thinking it has a lot to do with the Sinclair broadcasting, because since they were, I guess, the big name behind them as the money people. So I guess pretty much whatever corporate says they're gonna do. Of course, me and Dennis always had this conversation constantly about when, especially like with WWE, when we say about they're doing this decision, doing that decision. It's mainly the corporations behind it, like Peacock, NBC, whatever. They're making those rash decisions, whatever. So for them to take it out of the Philly area, what was it, Bristol or whatever it was, and then move it on, it kind of took away from some people that's who maybe traveled there from the Philly, New York, Jersey area, and then so now it just made it a harder commute for those trainees or up and comers from our area to get to them. So, but now I'm sure they got new guys or from the current area. But yes, please continue. You at the dojo?
Yeah. So that was also, just going back to what you said, that was also a really interesting education in the way that like modern wrestling works. Just being under the learning system of a company that's owned by a T station, because I was seeing firsthand how a lot of those decisions that were made by, really higher ups who essentially didn't have anything to do with wrestling other than they were like writing the checks. Like I saw how those decisions were passed down and how those people within Ring of Honor had to make sense of that and make it happen in a way that their bosses were happy, but that it still made sense for like the rest of the business model. You know what I mean? Like it was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, right down below we have a shout out from Pat Bernard. He's the guy behind Devereaux Sports. He's the one we always we get on his shit about us cursing and stuff. So we're gonna get a swirl jar. But like I said, The whole PG show, we're gonna say that for just the Breakfast and Body Slams morning show. As far as Thursday Night Slam, that's our gig and the pop-up pipe bombs, but we're all still family. We're on the same loop. Another thing, another nice shout out we got is from Papa Reaper. Yeah, have a great night, and don't forget to go to sleep, Dennis.
Yeah, he needs to get sleep. He unfortunately is going to be quarantined for like 14 days.
Oh.
Oh shit.
That sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah.
So going forward, so you're going through the training with ROH. Then they split. CB took over. Then you finished up your training with CB.
So actually, I was one of what you would consider like the last graduates of that old Ring of Honor dojo. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, so I was doing matches and hitting the road and like doing shows a couple months before they got out of there. I started in January of 2017, and my first ever match was July of 2017. My first match was it was for Pro Wrestling Explosion in Somerville, New Jersey, and I think they got out of there. I think they moved everything to Baltimore. That was like November or December of that year, and basically they kind of they rewrote their entire like plan basically. So like that old dojo that I came into, that was literally for like, hey, you can sign up and you can learn how to be a wrestler and we will build you from the ground up. What it is now down in Baltimore is more like what basically like they pick guys that they think have the potential and they have them train there and get them ready for the roster. So it's not really so much like you sign up, we'll teach you how to wrestle.
It's almost like an NXT. They go, they find guys who they like, bring them here, and they mold them their way. That's basically
that's
gotcha.
Yeah, and it's not a bad deal for those guys because you get to learn under Jonathan Gresham, who's there all the time. And I just did a seminar with him a couple weeks ago, and as you can imagine, just like an amazing mind for wrestling.
Was that the one? I think Gresham was just at Super Crazy at Skid Row Academy doing. Was that the one you were at?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at that one. Very fortunate to learn under him. Nobody in the world wrestles like him, and I got to see why. It's because he approaches wrestling from just such a unique standpoint, and he really has when he talks about that foundation stuff, he's been hammering that home and been doing his thing. I'm not kidding, for like 10 years. I know he's been working more than 10 years, but he's been like working his philosophy into everything that he does for like over a decade now. And it's so cool to see him stick with that, and now he gets to share that with others. It was an amazing learning experience.
Now going back to your first match, let's get inside the head of Dylan Mesh.
I don't know if you want to do that, but all right.
So they come to you, they tell you, hey, Dylan, we got you on the show, you got your gear. What was it like for you mentally preparing to have this first match ever in front of a live crowd? Just explain to us everything that was going on in your head.
It's one of those things where you start to get better, and I wonder if this was the same experience for you guys, but you kind of get to that point where you're like, oh man, that first match is going to be coming up, and you think you're ready, and you think you're going to have it all planned out, and then it actually happens, and you're like, shit, how do you get in the ring again? What's the lockup again? It's like, do I know anything? Have I ever done this before? What the hell's going to happen when I get in there? It's just like the nerves were insane. And like I said, I had like 4 days notice with this. And I just laid there every night. I was going to sleep like, oh my God, I'm going to wrestle in front of people. And day finally came, and I just found myself like laser focused, got in there, did the first, established what would be like, everybody's got a ritual. So like just got into my gear. And, just told myself, you know what to do. You've been well trained. You can do this. And, went out there. And I think it was a better match than like it probably should. It had any business being, because It was my first match. It was a tag team match. It was my first match. It was Eli Austin's first match. My tag partner was a guy named Dion De Niro. It was his first match, and then there was Ryan Nova, who had been working for a little while.
Okay, so
four very green guys.
So basically, it's guys that you already been training with, so you guys knew each other when these guys. And you know what? I think that's the best option when you're going into for your first match. It's always great to go in with someone that you already have in-ring experience with. And like I'm sure Dennis, you on your first match, was it somebody who you already knew?
No.
Okay.
My Mikey? I don't. All right. So would you? I guess you can consider it my first match. So technically, yes, it was. It was me versus Meth. But
so someone who you were familiar with.
But that was at a taping. No fans. But if it was first fans, then I had no clue who Frankie Frizzo, Vinny Hoffman, Kwame, and them were at the time.
Gotcha. All right.
Where I died.
Mikey, I can't ask you because you are the brother of a jobber. T,
he is.
I know you got in with guys you knew, right?
I have two different first matches because, like, the first match was Shocktoberfest, as I told you. Yeah. But there was like 2 people in the crowd, 3 people in the crowd. It was bad. Like, I sold 2 of them tickets. That I do remember. It was against the Brooklyn Brawler, which...
You mean the Brooklyn Bomber?
Bomber.
I knew it wasn't Brawler.
Brooklyn Bomber. And God bless his gentle soul. He's a good guy, but... Oh, brother. and then we have my first match with the company that I was training for. It was a tag match with the Huchala Boys.
Okay.
And Debbie versus the Beaters and me, So it's kind of hard to say.
It was everyone from the school.
Yeah, everybody.
So when you train with, so that's a plus.
But the first official match was somebody I didn't know, but
there was nobody there. It was like a Halloween throw together show.
So whatever happened, and it wasn't my fault. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, I was very fortunate for my first one. It was against one of my trainers, and all I did was bump and feed. I got squashed. It was an old school squash matches, bump and feed, and that's it. And he took care of me, and I'm sure everybody here will agree. Within that first, let's say, 6 months or so, I'll even go say as much as a year. Those butterflies will always be there in the beginning. Whether you know the person or not, you're looking at the crowd, you're listening to the reaction. If the crowd is popping for the matches before you, and you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to go out here and be the drizzling shits and the crowd just be crickets. And then the nerves before you go through the curtain, and you always got to go pee. No matter what, everybody, you always got to go pee before you go. But as soon as the music hits and you go through the curtain, the adrenaline rush hits. And usually you're just in the zone. You're in the zone. You want to get out there, hit everything what needs to be done to make the match complete. One thing for sure, nothing is going to go accurate. Either something's going to happen on your end, something's going to happen on your opponent's end, or partners, whoever the case may be. And I want to say technical difficulties. Something might happen to the ring for all we know. The ropes might snap or whatever, but you have to adapt to the situation, get through it, get back to the locker room. Then you review the stuff in your head. And we are our worst critics, because even though you might get, dude, that was good, that was great, you went out there, did that, but yet we're going to kick ourselves in the, oh man, I should have done this, I should have done that, and we are a lot worse than people telling us sometimes. Now, how was your experience on that? Like, after you went out, you did the match, you came back, how'd you feel? Was it okay, great, awesome match, or did you redo the match in your head and was you picking it apart like, damn man, I fucked up here, I should have done this, done that, whatnot?
So I remember we got through. Everything went pretty smoothly again, just because like we all knew each other really well, and we were all just generally well trained. So we were very well prepared for the situation. We were also lucky in the fact that CB was on that show. So like I think he had already wrestled. It was like later on in the card, but like I know when we got to the back, we went like right outside, and he was watching, and oh, you know what? No, I remember he had already wrestled because he filmed it from his merch table. He has that footage somewhere, and he went around back and he like told us what what we did well and what we need to improve on. So that was also good because like sometimes again like that adrenaline takes a while to kind of wear off, and you get like a level head and be like, oh yeah, could have done that better or something like that. And at the same time, my first ever match, how am I supposed to know like what could have been done better? There's obvious things, but then there's like the little things that like do make you better, and only somebody who's like with as much experience as CB like would be able to provide that. So again, I was lucky in that regard. We also noticed that a couple of us were covered in Old Bay seasoning when we came out. Because oh god, what was it? The tag team from Chikara? I think it was Caden Crawdad and King Crab, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I think they were wrestling the Cyberhawks, and there was Old Bay involved, and it did get on the mat, and it did get on us. So we were covered in Old Bay after our match.
Sweet. So you were kind of tasty too after the match. That's what's up. I'm sure the ladies loved it.
Man,
I remember we got outside. I remember we got outside. We got in the sun, and again, it was like July, and we're all covered in sweat. And Eli goes, "Man, my back burns for some reason." And he turns around, and he's just covered in the seasoning. And I look down, and Ryan's kick pads are just covered in it. I was like, "No, there's a reason for it. It's nothing. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it."
Now for like the past, we said about 4 years, going on 5.
Yep.
What is your highlight match so far since you've been working?
So there's been a handful for a couple of different reasons. One of them would be I got to do Future of Honor, which is kind of like Ring of Honor's like their YouTube series where they kind of they highlight guys on the independents. And I got to
almost
do
like
that
Dark.
pretty early on.
Almost like Dark has for AEW right now.
Yeah, so like this was AEW Dark before there was an AEW Dark.
Gotcha.
And sometimes they would do tapings at that old dojo. I don't know if they do them at the new one, but they would do that, and then they would also kind of do the pre-show matches at their live events, where they would also then put them on YouTube. But I got to do one of those. Again, this was against Eli Isom, who I know really well, and you can see him on Ring of Honor. He's a really good wrestler now, and he was even really good back then. So like that turned out really well. I was super happy with it, and like that was like my first any kind of like major exposure, you would call it, like super early on. So that was pretty neat.
I would personally say for you that has to be top notch, because just to say that you had the opportunity to train with ROH and they have an opportunity to work in some form of way in an ROH ring, whether it not on a main show, but in their Future of Honor, whatever, on their broadcast, even if it's on YouTube, whatever, for them to put you on their product out there, that's a step up in the right direction.
Yeah, it felt really cool, kind of validating in a way, because on one hand, you could say like, oh, well, they're your student, they would do that. Well, that's not true, because like they're still like a top-notch wrestling company, and they don't have to do that if they don't think you're ready. But they did. They gave us that spot, and it felt really good. So like we had come that far where we could do that, and something they can't take away.
I was just about to say that exactly. Something that nobody can never take away, you having that opportunity to work for them. Dennis, do you have any questions for Dylan?
Is that time?
No, not that, not those questions.
Questions.
Other questions in general. I'm like, any other general wrestling questions? If not, we can come back to you and then we can get the T and Mikey.
Okay, so for your debut match at Outbreak, okay, so that was the first time I've ever seen you wrestle, okay, and I was ringside taking photos, and I was actually really impressed, just with how your persona was, for a first timer, and I've been doing this for 13 years, so character is everything for me. I truly enjoyed it. For your first show at Outbreak, compared to other shows, I don't know how many matches you'd have by now, since you said you've been in just under 5 or just about 5. What would be your top 5 matches?
Top 5. So that Future of Honor one, that was in front of a crowd, so you can kind of take that for what it's worth. I had a couple of them. There was a tournament that CB held at the Worldwide Dojo, and it was one of those like one night deals. There was 2 4-ways, and then the winners move on to the finals. So I main evented that show with a large lad named Smoke Jones. Smoke's like 6'6". I effed him up pretty bad with a chair before that. It was not good enough to really keep him down, but the crowd was really hot as a result. I was really happy with that one. I got to do a Beyond Wrestling taping when they came down to the Wrestle Factory. I think that was early 2019. I wrestled Gabriel Sky, who's now all over the place. I think he's out in LA right now for VXS. That was really good. He's such super athletic, and it was really fun just mixing it up with him. Oh God, what else? At one of the Lucha Libre live shows in Norristown, PA, I wrestled Tulpa, who you may have seen him on. He was on CZW. He was on Dojo Wars a lot.
I think I might have that match on YouTube because I filmed some of the stuff with just my regular camera, so it might be on YouTube.
Okay, that one was really fun. My second, I think this is my second match ever for Dog, out in Glassboro, New Jersey. I wrestled the legendary Biggie Biggs, and I didn't know how long that dude was working when I wrestled him. I just remember people were like, "Yo, take a look at your chest because it ain't gonna look like that when you come back." I was like, "That is absolutely fine." He did. He did in fact take me to Chop City, but like I don't know, I'm kind of a sadist, so I was like, "This rules." But my chest looked like a raw hamburger.
Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Was Biggie the hardest chops you ever taken?
The hardest? I don't know if they were necessarily the hardest. He had big hands.
Well, the only reason why I say that, because till this day, out of the whole career I had, out of all the chops I took, he was the only one to ever really make me cringe, ever. Honestly.
As far as like hardest goes, I mean, I was also trained by Delirious. So I've had to wrestle him a handful of times. He has one of those chops where you don't see them coming, and he will send you flying back. They kind of just come out of nowhere. And then speaking of like indie legends, I have wrestled Patch multiple times now in like tag matches.
Everybody loves Patch.
That's my hardest.
Patch will light you up with those.
I had his too.
And you know me, like I don't back down when I really should. So like he just kept bringing them the one night, and like even after I got out of the ring, man, I kind of just took a little walk. I was like, all right, well maybe I can give my chest 5 seconds to heal. Nah, he came out, he turned me around, he gave me some more. I was like, all right, well I guess this is hell is like. So yeah, there's been a couple. Biggie's hands are they're huge is the thing.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need the force behind it because he kind of hits you with those frying pan hands.
I think, honestly, speaking of a Biggie, I was going through Facebook, and I think he officially retired from the ring today.
Today?
Yeah, I believe he put it on his Facebook. I seen. I'm gonna look it up real quick, but you had what his top 5 matches you asked, and how many did you say already?
Oh god, I think that was 3 now, 3 or 4.
Okay, you got 2 more to answer, Dennis. Why
Okay.
look this up?
I think it was 3.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Patch is like I'm just, you gave me PTSD talking about it. He did an overhand chop. I ain't never gonna forget this for the rest of my days. Not. He went. I'm like, there's no reason to go overhand on me. He went down. I went down, and I reevaluated my whole wrestling career in 5 seconds.
Oh my god. Yeah, he doesn't mess around. He's as old school as it comes, man.
All right, guys. I found it real quick. I did go to Biggie's personal page as of 9/30/2021 at 1:47 p.m. I am no longer a professional wrestler. I filled my bump card up. On to the next chapter. How exciting! Love always, Biggie Biggs. So yeah.
Look, well, I'm gonna say it this way: no matter what, Biggie Biggs, he will always be a professional wrestler. Yeah. In the eyes of all of us, you can say you're no longer a professional wrestler. You will always be a professional wrestler.
We're like the mafia. You try to get out, we pull you back in. Or
it's a gang that you can get out of without being jumped out.
Yeah. Basically, like you signed up for it.
The only way you're going to get out is either, like he said, jumped out, which in our case would be blackballed, or death.
or fall out of love with it.
No, I'm not gonna say too far. I'm sure the love's still gonna be there in here, but you just move on with your life. But as far as getting out, it has to be 2 ways: blackballed or death. Really, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the love's always gonna be there, even if you don't show it. It's like your first love, a woman. Like whatever your high school sweetheart. She's always gonna have a certain spot in your heart or whatever. Maybe if things were great and you guys went your separate ways, that's like wrestling. You just happen to go your separate ways. That's it. But you're still gonna love it.
Yeah. And to that end, that match that I just mentioned that I had with him at Dog, that actually it means even more to me now, because that was during a time where whatever he had going on physically, he had just come back to the ring like shortly after that, and it was in that time where he didn't tell me this at the time. He's just a kid he just met. Like, why would he? But like, I know he was still trying to figure out if he could just still go, still be the wrestler he wanted to be, and just make the crowd happy. And I know he was like really happy after that match.
Well, I know he lost a lot of weight when he started working back with Dog again. When I was over there running the sound and you were there with Dave, he lost tremendous amount of weight. And the big thing about him, he was always a entertainer. So when he went out there, he worked the crowd. And that's what he done. It was, he always has and he always will be an entertainer, whether it be in the ring or outside, just trying to cheer someone up because they're having a bad day or whatever. He's a straight up good dude. And and now since he said he's stepping away from the business, hey, kudos to him. Sometimes when it's your time to walk away. You don't want to push the issue, because sometimes we do have to step away from the ring to let the next guys step up. We can't be that grumpy old man in the corner in the locker room thinking, I wish I can get on the card or this and that, because you're just taking a spot away from somebody else. So,
and I know I found somebody put up footage of like some random Jersey indie show from like 1999, and I looked at the card and I was like, holy shit, Biggie was on. I was like, I didn't know you were working. I didn't know he was working that long. And I told him about it, and I told him the date on. He's like, that may have been my first ever match. So like, hey, there's nothing. That's some tenure. You know, he has nothing to be ashamed of, man. He put in his time. So, Biggie, if you see this, thank you so much just for your presence and for the match that we had, and best of luck with whatever comes next.
All right. T, do you have any questions for Dylan before we drill him?
To clarify the P situation that he said, it's true on my angle. How many times you have to go pee before going to the match?
So Will Ferrara taught me. Will Ferrara taught me always. Even if he told me one time, I was at Gorilla Position at Ring of Honor in Pittsburgh, and he was getting ready for his match. He was warming up, and he looked at me and he goes, "You always pee before your match, even if you feel like you don't have to." I was like, "All right, fine." But that's hard, and I did it every single time. So like every time before I go to get in my gear, I just go piss.
I had to poop once. That was not fun.
Listen, I make it my mission. I always tell everybody this story, that I do not eat or drink any. I do not eat anything after 3:00, because I had a situation where I used to do the clothesline in the turnbuckle in the corner the Miz does, and one of my opponents back in the day in Scranton decided to put his arm up as I jumped and caught me right in the gut. And let me just tell you that I did throw up in the ring. And I actually was hurt, and I was out of wrestling for about 3 weeks because of how messed up I got. But I make it a mention that I do not eat. And I slowly not drink anything. Go and pee before a match is not a problem. I'll go pee till the match I'm up. But it's going number 2 that's the hardest.
Yes.
Like, if you think about it,
we all agree with that.
I
Have
had the
to
tights,
take
I had
the
the
tape
knee pads,
off,
I had the kick
have
pads,
to
I had the knee
reevaluate your
braces.
situations.
Like, you know how, like, we all understand. Mikey's sitting here going, what is he going with this? Mikey, picture it this way. Being a football player in school and having to take a deuce with all that padding on their knees on.
10
times worse.
That ain't fun.
10 times worse. 10 times worse if you wear tights and you have knee pads and kick pads on, and you have to roll those suckers down just to get the tights down so you can sit on the toilet and not crap on your gear.
Lord forbid it's a hot day in a fucked up arena that is nothing but sweat and bullets, and you got to roll them tights right back up in the stall that you're in after you took a swampy mud pool.
I was gonna say, on top of that, some of these buildings are just the venues that you end up in indie wrestling are just peachy and incredible and weird in their own way, and some places you get locker room gets its own bathroom, not that big a deal. Some place, nah, fans are coming in and you got to use the same exact bathroom, and now you're sitting in there like a moron in your gear, installed, trying to be like, how did I get here in my life?
Speaking of throwing up, we had Jeff Gripley chimed in earlier. If he's still listening. Oh wait, hold up. We have another guy. Look at this. Look at that, Dylan.
Oh,
from 3L, Carlos from Lucha Libre Live. Oh, he's asking how you doing, brother.
Oh, I'm doing even better now that I've seen your name. If you start running shows again, Carlos, you know where to find me. You know where to find me.
Carlos, call Dylan. He wants to get booked. Hey,
give me a call. Those shows
and don't forget, I got sound. Carlos. I'll come do the music out.
Curtain too,
music
right?
out.
You got the curtain.
Hey,
you got the curtain too.
You got sound. I have video.
We got it all. We have
the whole package with photography.
We got Jeff chiming back in.
And Jeff, that's screwed up. Why would you dump an entire? You know what? I don't even want to know why you would dump a trash can over someone in the top of the stall and taking a dump. That's funny, but screwed up.
It is.
But the thing I was getting at, Jeff, since you're listening, was back in the day. I think he knows where I'm going here with this. Him and a man known as Flex Wheeler.
I love Flex.
I'm not sure if it was Flex or Jeff. I'm gonna go with Flex. Somebody was drinking, I guess, a protein shake or whatever before the match, and one of them ended up throwing up in the ring at Body Slams Arena. This is like in '94, early '95 or late '94, something like that. One of them threw up, and they kept working each other, body slamming each other, suplexing, whatever, all over in this puke. And it was disgusting. Wait. Was it? He even says it was Flex.
It was Flex.
You know, it's funny because I recently just saw a clip of a dude basically puke guts. It was an intergender match, and it was widespread. And they were like, 1, 2, the dude kicked out, and everybody's like, why?
I just saw that.
Right,
oh my God, the gumption.
I'm going to put a timeout right now on this conversation about puke and throw up and wrestling. Since we got Jeff tuning in, our good buddy Jeff here, he's been battling COVID recently, and everybody been sending their much love and prayers out to him to get well. I stopped by the house the other day. He actually called me today before we got on air of the podcast to give me an update and stuff. So far, he's still going to be quarantined a little bit, but right now he does actually sound a lot better than what he did. So hopefully, with a little bit more time, he will recover full force with this. He mentioned to me that several people who went to the CAC over in Las Vegas, the Cauliflower Alley Club, what they had out there, he said at least probably about 12 or more people probably caught the COVID while they were out there. One guy is, I believe, in a coma right now, and he's younger, a younger guy. But yeah, we're all praying for Jeff to get well. So if anyone out there, if you're listening, go check out his page, Jeff Gripley Evans. Just send him some love, send him some prayers. He needs it. He's a vet. He's one of the guys who came before me. He's one of my trainers besides Damien. He was there. He seen me get into business like even before I was of age. You know, I was basically a grunt. I was one of those guys who just showed up and helped out the school, whatnot, until I was able to start training and stuff. So, but yeah, it really means a lot to me because he contributed a lot. He's he worked all over the Northeast here. He was in he worked the NWF. He actually worked for WWF back in the day. So, but yeah. So if you can, please, everyone out there watching, please give this man some prayers and stuff, as well as many others out there who has contracted this deadly virus. It's been horrible for all of us, even during the pandemic where a lot of guys could not work. I'm sure, Dylan, you couldn't work. I don't know if you probably did school shows and stuff like that too, probably during that time.
Oh, I did absolutely nothing. I stayed far away from everyone.
No tapings at all?
No, nothing. I was training all the way up through April. And then, when things started to shut down, I told CB, I was like, I'm, going to step away and we'll see how this thing works out. And then the stories of just, one, people getting sick at shows, and then two, people just not doing what they should have been doing to prevent people getting sick. I was like, I don't trust any of y'all. I'm just going to, sit in my house. I will stay in shape, and that's what I did. I worked out like a maniac the whole time. And I stayed away until I got fully vaccinated in June, the end of May, and I got back in the ring in June, and I was back in ring shape by July. So actually, for that outbreak, match that you guys were talking about before, that was my first singles match since early 2020.
Well, I'm glad we were there to actually see it. It was kind of hard on my view though. I had a little monitor, so I couldn't really tell all that much. But
yeah, that's right. You had a good setup back there.
It was a cute little setup. It changes every time, and I hate changing it up. I wish I was able to stick to one setup, but powers that be, they want different things, different times. So it's gonna be shortly before I decide to just say hell with it and sell my entrance, so I don't have to deal with that no more. but it is. I would rather have my own building and just work out of there. But whatever, it is what it is. So going forward, let me see. There was a deck of cards. 5 cards were picked, and my man Dennis,
he's chopping a bit for this. Look at him.
He has your death wish right now.
He's ready.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
And I've been dying to use these decks of cards since they came in the mail. Like, I've had them on my cell phone, and I haven't used them yet. So this is the first time they're actually making an appearance on any of the podcast shows right now that we know of.
Well, going future, starting in November, where we are going to try to get them over to Mikey. So he can be the one asking the hard-hitting podcast question on the cards. But go ahead, Dennis, take it away.
I'm shuffling them because I'm hoping I don't want to get the good one on the very first try.
It's a hard pick out of 5. We see
I know.
it. I know.
And I'm not even looking at him. Like,
look, he's sweating now. He's like, what the fuck is this?
I'm trying to emotionally prepare, not even mentally, just emotionally prepare.
All right, Dylan, pick between 1 and 5.
Give me 4. It's my lucky number.
All right,
maybe it's not my lucky number this time.
It says, if animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Oh, God. Dude, probably house cats. Mine is sitting right next to me, and he's been a little bastard the entire time. Did you guys hear him, like, playing with his little jingly toys and stuff? Like, he would do that right now.
Well, let's see your cat. Okay, get your pussy.
This is the Squicket. This is his name.
Like, excuse me, I'm sitting here not trying to be on television because you're not paying me enough.
Yeah, his name is the Squicket. He is my roommate, my consultant, my only friend. And
he's your agent.
Apparently, yes. All business deals go through him, and that is why nobody talks to me. But that's the way.
Probably why you didn't get no green M&Ms and
exactly because you didn't get no catnip
or anything like that.
Yeah, he probably intercepted them and sent them to Timbuktu or something. He's very cute though.
So pick a number between 1 and 4 now.
You're gonna go with 4 again.
You said 2?
2.
If humans came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh, God. Probably something about explosive if kept in sunlight and heat.
Okay.
Trying to think of like just common labels that are on stuff.
That's fair.
keep far away from sunlight. You could be like a gremlin. Like don't get them wet. Don't feed them after midnight.
I'm telling you, man. When everything shut down and I like disappeared, I just straight up stayed in my house in the woods, and I was like, "This is wonderful." And then I had to come back out, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! What the hell is a city?" It was terrible.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna let somebody else pick a number for you. Mikey, pick between 1 and 3.
Please pick well.
3.
Please.
Sorry, I went with 3, buddy.
This one's okay. I don't know why everybody. I don't know. Says, what secret conspiracy would you like to start?
Wait, say it again.
What secret conspiracy would you like to start?
Oh God, secret conspiracy. That this whole thing with Chio's teeth is a front, and he actually collects other people's
This
teeth.
motherfucker.
If you go into Chio's house and you go in the basement, you'll find jars, and jars. If you think Dan Housen came up with that jar of teeth thing, he did, and that was Chio. That's my conspiracy.
Yo,
How'd you know?
Fired.
How'd you know?
Shots fired. Oh shit! All right, T. 1 or 2?
1.
God damn. So the one that me and Chio both laughed at is the last card. All right, so
Perfect.
here's card number 2, the second to last. It goes, if you were out at dinner with no cash, what would you do or say to get your bill paid?
Probably would start brandishing the steak knife that I gave me, and say something like, I wouldn't even say anything. I'd probably just stand right on the table and just make eye contact. Sometimes saying the least says the most. You know what I mean? And some people don't want to end their shift with fingers missing, and I think it's a good enough motivator.
I know what I would do. I would pick up my cell phone, start screaming, "What? Hold no, for real? I'm on my way. Oh my God, my wife's having a baby," and start running. Oh my God, I'm having a baby. I'm having a baby, and start running out. Oh my God, I got to get to the hospital.
See, he actually uses his head, whereas I just resort to like maiming and violence. So I think that says a lot about me and him.
Look, I won't lie. Mine beats both of that. I would just make a prank phone call to 911 and say there's a gas leak in the building.
Oh damn!
I'm just saying, I would get the whole building taken away.
Watch it. They're gonna trace
that.
Wow.
They're gonna trace that phone call.
Good idea, though.
Motherfucker. Just saying, it's smart thinking here.
Well,
I think I would just complain. I do like Dylan said, complain about the food. Like you brought this is what you know. I'm not paying for this. I mean,
look, you have to be a really good Karen to get free food. You're not me. Okay, when you can go to the Cheesecake Factory, right, and it's you, your girlfriend, and 2 of her friends, and service was that bad that your bill was $270 and you left with only having to pay for the alcohol, which was $70, you can come talk to me then.
Damn, pretty good.
All I was supposed to get was free cheesecake, but what the chick didn't understand is I worked in the restaurant business. And when she asked us for what we wanted for dessert, we told her that we all wanted what kind of cheesecake we wanted. My girlfriend said she wanted hers to go. We were going to eat ours there. This waitress legit brings us our dessert in a to-go bag and says, "Have a good day." And I'm looking around like, hold on, did that just happen? No big deal, whatever. She's mad she got yelled at because, first off, the appetizer I had was soggy as hell for a salad. And then everybody else got their meals but me. And I waited an extra 10 minutes before my meal actually got to the table. And I had the easiest meal ever. I had a hamburger. These people had fish and steak. So it made no sense to me. And she also didn't check on the table. She didn't ask if we want a refill. She was only asking if we wanted alcohol, not sodas. Or water, or checking on us whatsoever throughout the entire night we were at this Cheesecake Factory. And then I go to the manager after we were about to leave because she had to take off the cheesecakes, and she's like, "So how was it?" I was like, "Well, your waitress ain't getting tips; she's getting 0." And she goes, "What happened?" And I told her, and she's like, "That's uncalled for. Not that. No." She goes, "Let me go take off the cheesecake real quick, and I'll be right with you." She gets it. She walks me up to the front to me and my friends and Nina, and she goes, "By the way, I took all the food off your bill. I can't take the alcohol off because that's government." I'm like, okay. Like technically, you could wipe the entire tab. Yes, you can. I've worked in a restaurant with alcohol, but I didn't expect to get a whole $200 and some taken off the bill. So like, thank you.
Fair enough.
And then I'm like, at that point I'm like, all right, well maybe I should tip this waitress now, because like she's probably gonna lose her job after this tonight, and I feel horrible. But no, so the manager was like, look, if the service is bad, I wouldn't tip her. And I'm like, shit, your own boss just threw you under the bus. But if you can do what I did, then come talk to me. But I don't think anybody's ever going to. I didn't attempt to be a Karen, but I became a Karen. All right, so here's the last
Karen.
one.
So I got to pick.
Right.
Okay, so I got to pick a card. I choose 4 since he likes 4.
There's only one left, you knucklehead.
Count it 4 times.
Let him keep doing a good job.
Gio,
It's fine.
I think your teeth are getting to you.
All right, we'll go with 1 4 times.
All right, now, Dylan, you need to answer this honestly. You can't even lie. I need as honest as possible for this.
All right.
Where is the strangest place you have urinated or taken a crap?
Oh God, the strangest place.
There's a bear
The
shit in the woods.
strangest place. I've done it, and I have no shame. So like, I've done it in just the strangest places, and also like while inebriated and stuff like that. I think there was a fairly recent one where like I was in a place that only had 1 bathroom, and somebody was like taking a bath, and like for whatever reason, I was like, I really need to piss, and they were like, no. I was like, all right, well, forget you. I'll figure this out myself. So there was a field across the street, and for whatever reason, I was like, well, I can't be too close to the road. So I walked to the middle of this field, and I just like stood there. Like if anybody looked outside, other than like me pissing, they would have been absolutely terrified. There's an individual standing in the middle of the field, but like I just like stood there and just pissed in the middle of the field, and just like looked out over this town. It was like this, and then I pull my pants back up, and went about my day.
Mikey.
Okay. Oh, Mikey's turn.
No, I gotta hear Mikey's answer to this one.
Oh God.
Strangest place?
Oh jeez.
Strangest place? Come on, man.
Oh man. Jeez. God, I'd have to sit here and think. I don't know if we have enough time.
All right, well, we'll let you think about that. Mine was in the sink at a party. I couldn't wait for the bathroom. I just said, fuck it. I stood up on the keg and took a piss right in this guy's house kitchen. And they, like, when I say there's probably about 200 people at this party, and probably 30 of them were in between the kitchen and the dining room for food, and you see everybody's head do this, because I'm standing on the keg to take a piss into the sink. And everybody's like, dude, there's a bathroom. I'm like, dude, someone shit all over your toilet and the floor. I'm not stepping in shit. Sorry. Not happening.
All right, I got one for you.
Oh, God.
I was coming back from an early show from Delaware. It was an afternoon show. And there was no bathrooms along the way. Finally, I pull up to a convenience store, a small one. I think it was on Route 100 or something like that. Quick got out, ran inside. I'm like, where's your bathroom? I really gotta go. Just so happens, my zipper ended up getting stuck halfway. And I couldn't get everything out like fully extended. So next thing you know, shit streaming everywhere all over his bathroom. Like, and I'm embarrassed. Like, oh fuck, man, I'm gonna have to clean all this shit up. Like, it was horrible. It literally was like a scene out of American Pie movie or something like that, with some dumb shit happening. And that's what happened to me. Like I'm like, I felt so bad. I'm like, yo, where's your mop bucket? I'll clean this shit. I'm so sorry. T, strangest place ever pissed or shit it. That was on the last card.
Kuwait.
Well, you're over there. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Kuwait. No.
You go there just to piss?
No.
Yeah.
Kuwait had when I was deployed, they had porta-johns stationed everywhere. And we just legit landed not too long ago. We legit flew in, just landed into Kuwait, took the bus ride from hell, which is like basically going from New York to PA, but in Kuwait. And we got to the fob. There's a bunch of porta-johns. I'm like, sweet. I run in. I do the fucking bug inspection with the flashlight to make sure there's no camel spiders, no nothing like that.
Yeah.
Sweet. I sit down. I start taking the deuce. I finish. I go to reach for toilet paper. I'm like, oh, I'm diddling everything. I'm diddling.
It's all air and not but air.
Paper. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, no wonder this motherfucker's clean. They just fucking rinsed it down. I'm like, oh no. I have no toilet paper. Thank God for me being smart than a motherfucker and packing an extra pair of socks and my fucking DCUs. I'm like, fuck. and wiped, rolled, wiped, threw it in there. Wiped, rolled, wiped, threw it in. I'm like, yes. I'm clean, and I can flush these socks. But that was one of the worst experiences I had taking a poop, like straight up, like being out there and like not having toilet paper. It's not having toilet, being out there and not having toilet paper. Like,
look, I got that beat.
Nah, bro, never.
Well,
You can't say you're in Kuwait. You can't say you're in Kuwait.
You got me on location beat.
I need toilet paper.
You got me beat on location, but I got you beat on situation. I had to take a dump when I lived in Florida in the middle of the woods and didn't have anything either. And I didn't think about it. And I looked next to me and go, oh, look, leaves. They weren't regular leaves.
What were they?
Oh, it was poison ivy.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, when you have to go to the hospital and the doctors go, so what are you here for? And I go, I went to the bathroom in the woods and I used a leaf, and the only responses from the nurse is, you are that kind of stupid today, aren't you? Because it was poison ivy, wasn't you? I'm like, I don't know, but my butt itches and it fucking hurts.
Now,
and of course they look and they go, it's poison ivy.
Now, question, Mikey, do you have your answer yet? If not,
no, I really don't. I mean,
all right. Well, since that's the case, the question was, where have you pissed or shitted at the most weirdest? How? What was the question again? Can you read the card one more time?
I don't even need to read the card. I already know, memorized it. Where is the strangest place you have urinated or taken a crap?
So, Austin, where was it? I see him sitting in the green room just watching us. So I figured I'll get him at the last minute and bring him in because I know he's hearing everything we're saying.
That is foul.
Sit down, friends.
Waiting to come on in and get blasted with the most.
I know.
Everyone sit down and allow me to spin you the yarnest of yarns. Because I was out with friends drinking one night and we were roaming around by a baseball field and I had to take a crap and we couldn't find a bathroom. Me being drunk and being also an idiot that I still am, decided to, how do I say that? I took a shit on home plate.
Oh my God. Wow.
Hey, I guess you were safe.
I guess you could literally say that the strike zone was shitty that day.
That's great.
That is so good.
That Okay. Listen, that's that. It doesn't beat T's. Like T's is just fucked up. Okay.
No. All right.
He has us all beat, but yours just beat mine. I thought me having a crap and wiping my ass with poison ivy was good. No. Nope.
All right. Dylan, we're pretty much time's up with our segment with you. I want to thank you for graciously coming on and joining us and telling us some of the finer stories of your 4-year career. And it was great to see Carlos jump in the chat room. That there came out of awesome. Nowhere. That was great. Now you got 2 choices. You can stick around and talk general wrestling bullshit chat with us, or you can hightail it, get some sleep. I'm sure you got work in the morning. The choice is yours.
Hey, any other night, I probably would stay here and just keep shooting the shit with you guys. But actually, there's a couple of projects that I'm working on, and I want to try to, knock some of those out tonight. There's some with this new getup that I have. There's a couple extra things that I have in mind, and I've been talking to people trying to put some of that together. So I'm gonna get to work on that. And on top of that, no, not the goddamn guys. I told you, I'm not getting kicked out of New Japan like Loki because I have guys on me. It's not happening. I'll find a more creative way to get kicked out of a promotion related to my gimmick, but we'll see.
I get kicked out of promotions all the time when I tell the promoter they're a bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah, they don't like hearing that, but the truth hurts.
So, Dylan, where can they see you in action next?
So my schedule is, like I said, I only got back to like a ring shape in like July, and then I start putting the feelers out in like August. So end of the year, it's kind of getting there for me, but I've been working closely with Camp Leapfrog lately, so probably be appearing on their tapings and their live shows coming up. Been working with, I've been gracious, after that first Outbreak appearance, did something for them that's going to be coming down the pipe. Hopefully be getting out there pretty soon. And then, you know what? Jaden didn't book me for this next show for Dog, but I'm going to go down there and bother him. I'm probably going to run in and make my own match if we're being perfectly honest. So that's where my head's at right now. I'm just going to start making matches for myself.
That actually sounds like a plan. Maybe I should show up too, and we just heckle the shit out of the midget.
Yeah, you know what? You come out there, do your man. I know you got aspirations to do the manager thing again. So you go out there with me. Let me just sock some dudes in the face and see how Jaden reacts.
And I'll try to talk as much shit as I can without my teeth falling out.
Yeah, dude, grab a microphone, throw your teeth at the fans. It's what they came there for.
I'm gonna bite somebody. That's what I'm gonna do.
Do it. I hope this gets back to him.
So, Dylan, on social media, where can people follow you? We see already your name at Dylan Mesh on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Where else can they follow you at?
Twitter is the best place for me. I try to keep all that stuff succinct because I hate I hate social anything, so social media ain't too different. So I try to keep it all focused on Twitter's the main place where you can see anything that I have going on, as well as my just general dumbass thoughts. I do have Instagram. It's Dylan_Mesh. Those are literally just pictures with no context. So if you like, subjective art, maybe that's your thing. Really weird stuff with absolutely no explanation.
I'm going to let you know there's probably going to be some pictures of you coming really soon from JoJo Photos because my daughter was there. She was at ringside taking pictures, so you'll get some pictures when you're at Outbreak.
Yeah, I just got to get all the watermarks on them. That's all it is. I can't get it. Doesn't want to work for me. It's freaking retarded that it doesn't want to work. Oh, bye, Dylan.
Okay, bye, Dylan.
Then you won't get the pictures then. No.
All right. Well,
ready to go, guys.
Dylan, if you're hearing us and you logged off, okay. Thanks for coming on. All right. Well, unless you know what? I think it was the cat. The cat told me it's time to log off and smack the phone or whatever. And look at this superstar with his boom mic arm or whatever the fuck he got down here in the corner.
Hey, take it easy.
He trying to look professional down here with the arm.
I've had this microphone for a long time.
Whatever.
I have a boom microphone too. I just don't have the wire.
After a while, it was just like space was an issue, so I just was using this guy.
Fucking top flight podcaster, motherfucker. I see how it is.
It's
my bad.
It's called professional.
My bad. We got superstar Scrapper Boy on the show. We got Scrapper Boy. My bad.
Not sure about the lighting though.
Yeah, the lighting's not great. I'm still working on that. But aside from this, like I just random YouTube gameplay. So the audio from this microphone is definitely better than from the headset. Clearly.
Sweet. I can hear it too. It actually does sound really clear.
Yeah. Nice and crisp.
Look, once I go buy this wire tomorrow for me to use the laptop on the mixer and actually have the overhead hit mic, I'll use these headphones, but I'll use the actual shotgun mic. So I don't have to worry about that crap. I know.
It's going to be so clean, dude. I can't wait for that.
Me neither.
They're so good.
I need another goddamn wire. Another $30 here. Yay.
All right. So basically, a lot of us here are looking top flight with our Twitter handles on our screen, except for Mikey. Even though he said he
forgot to do that. Yeah, I did. I just forgot. I'm like, oh crap.
Come on, Mikey, man. You're supposed to be the better Bernard. What the fuck, dude, man? You're killing us.
Charlie horse.
All right, gentlemen, it's time. It's time.
Whoa, that's a UFC thing. You can't steal their line.
It's time.
I mean, we can sort of go with the theme and say the time is now.
Ooh. Yeah, well, we definitely can't see you, but those teeth we can see.
Oh, man.
I don't want to see.
All right, so.
It's you right there.
I have not really been keeping track of what really is going on in the world of WWE and AEW. It's like I watch this stuff all week. I get excited at parts, but then yet, with the way my work is and stuff, everything just seems to be a real blur. The only thing that stood out so far all this week for me is the whole Arn Anderson thing.
I didn't get to watch AEW. Like that's my issue with this work week. I don't get to watch any wrestling during the week. I have to watch it on the weekend.
So between Mikey, T, and Austin, basically, if you guys watch wrestling all this week, this is going to be y'all 3 segments, and me and Dennis are just going to chime in with our 2 cents whenever we feel like it. So whichever one of you 3 want to kick it off and start, please.
Well, I guess we should start off with we'll start off with the Extreme Rules Fallout.
Nah, we gotta end it with Extreme Rules, man. You gotta go with Arn.
Listen, hold on. We saw Raw first. Raw was fantastic. It was actually pretty decent Raw. I didn't like the whole start the championship match and then some more crazy shit happened and then go back to the championship match later in a cage. Cool with the cage, but Raw was actually pretty decent. It was a workman's show. There was a lot of matches.
I don't know. I was busy watching the Eagles game. Sorry.
You see, you asked for my opinion about
shit. No way. We don't mention that this week, Chio. We don't mention that.
I don't care about the Eagles. But anywho, Raw was pretty decent. NXT. Actually, let me go back to Raw. Raw was actually good with matches. Not many times you have a lot of matches on Raw. You had a lot of matches this time.
Yeah, most of the time it's like you get a few matches and mostly promo.
Yeah, I honestly didn't watch Extreme Rules or Raw this week because I had to relocate this weekend, so I didn't really have a lot of time. And this is like the first yesterday and today were the first 2 true days that I was like able to relax a bit. So I did catch AEW. So I can definitely chime in more about that when we get there.
All right, then let me fast forward since we're now talking about the PPV and Raw. NXT basically was showcasing the females, and basically Electra G stood out to me. She was fucking fantastic. She let you know exactly she has experience compared to B-Fab. B-Fab, honestly, all is good mic game, but she has not proven anything in that ring to me. But in one outing, Electra Lopez just won me over. Plus, she's thick and
yes. Yes, she's
okay?
really.
Wow. You okay over there? Yes. As soon as I said thick. She's Elo from the block.
No, but she, in all honesty, she's amazing. She has growth potential. Mandy's with the wet hair. Oh Lord. But that wet hair gimmick with the dark brunette and she added little like blonde highlights to it. I'm like, okay, girl, get it. I know where you're getting at. And she's basically restamping herself, which is Trish Stratus S. When I say that, Trish Stratus came in as a fluff piece, TNA, manager. What happened after Trish Stratus got some training and proving grounds? She became one of the baddest females ever to lace boots. And
that's right.
I said this about Mandy. If Mandy could get her work ethic up, she could be the next Trish 2.0 because she's that hot and she could command a presence with just her features alone. Give her the mic skills.
I think Io Shirai seems to be a pretty good worker too. I love the high flying stuff she does.
I think they're gonna do a split and throw Io on the main brand later on Friday, and have Zoe keep working NXT because Io been ready.
Oh yeah, she has.
I think Raquel G may go to the main roster too.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling too.
I got a notification from Dylan Mesh. He informed me that his phone overheated and shut off there at the end of the show, but he thanked everybody for letting him come on. So, yeah.
Rough.
The struggles are real.
But NXT was actually a pretty dope show. It wasn't like I watched it for the matches, to be honest. And it was Electra that stuck out. They're trying to push Braun Breaker to the moon, which he has all the tools, but man, it's like there's something that's not rubbing off the right way. Maybe it's his whole trying to be like his daddy gimmick with the like confetti straps and things of that nature. I would like him to be his own self, not his father, not his uncle, his own self. But that's NXT. Now we're gonna go with you, gentlemen.
What about
Rewind.
Bobby Fish?
What do you mean, Bobby? Bobby.
That's what we're about to get into that. We're about to get into that.
I was thinking former NXT. When you said NXT, I was thinking.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chio does not know what a segue is.
I was thinking former NXT. That's why.
He was when he heard segue, he was thinking of the scooter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
of. But those are my hot topics for NXT. Now we're gonna move along to what everybody else been waiting on.
Fuck this, I'm leaving.
AEW.
But this is the good part. AEW.
AEW. See how he's moving right to me? He's no longer the host. I'm controlling this. Gentlemen, release a crack and tell me how you feel.
I thought overall it was a great show. The main event was really good, and just seeing like again, just Sammy Guevara proving that he is a really great wrestler and an amazing athlete, especially just that whole match with Miro. Just the way Miro operates is always just so just like raw talent. To see Sammy be able to keep up with him and keep the flow of the match going really well was just really cool. And then what happened after the fact on socials was pretty neat.
Dennis?
I didn't watch any wrestling this week. My job does not allow me to. I've had to be at work at like 6 a.m. every day.
How the Ravens are?
Ravens were fucking great. We looked like shit, but we won. Hey,
how's your heart after this past Sunday?
Look, my heart broke. My heart was broken a little bit, right? Because Justin Tucker missed a field goal in the beginning of the goddamn game, which that broke me because I'm a Tucker fan. I can give two shits about everybody else, but I'm a Justin Tucker fan. And Chio, no, you want to kiss our ass. Chio commented in the group and said, kiss my ass. But first off, I have to say my heart broke tonight with the Phillies.
Okay, we ain't got all day. Mikey, tell us about AEW.
AEW. I saw up to where that promo was that Arn Anderson did, and then I got sidetracked and I didn't see the rest of the show. So I got lucky.
That promo was everything. That promo was everything. Like he called Cody a little loser bitch. He said, "I will put somebody's brains on the concrete with his Glock." I'm like, "Yo, who gave him the script?"
Right?
Right? Like.
I was dying.
That's one hell of a promo, Arn.
Reminded me of Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
And after that, it took off. The memes, everybody Glock.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
There's one with him and his wifey somewhere. I think at a gas station. He was like, "This is as close as I'm gonna get." I probably pulled off. I'm like, bro.
The comment that's up on the screen. The answer is you, Chio.
Well,
technically,
you did.
No. Technically speaking, he didn't book us. Booked us.
Oh yeah,
that's true. That's true. It's Frankie Frizzo's fault.
Dennis is over here pulling an Eli Manning from Monday Night Football.
Hold up, real quick. Real quick, whatever we say is never our fault. It's always Pat's fault because it's his show that he's never on.
That's right.
Yeah,
remember that.
It's always Chio's fault.
No, Chio can't take the blame because he has
equipment.
It's
Pat's fault.
Oh man!
I thought another great segment was I know it was right in the beginning with Kenny Omega out there and him getting interrupted by Bryan Danielson and then getting called Kenny No Balls and everybody saying it.
I saw that replay.
Watch for the T-shirt come soon.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Oh damn! I might have to get off.
But AEW is awesome. AEW is always awesome, even if it has.
It is awesome.
Lackluster matches. It's still awesome.
I'm sorry. I just seen what Dennis posted.
Wait, what?
Look in the group chat.
But like, it's a scene from Ricky. It's from like what was it? Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, Boys in the
Hood. These memes ain't gonna stop.
Oh my lord!
Listen, this is by
his
far
career has revived.
Meme. This is the best meme that's hit the internet so far, okay? When you make fun of Boys in the Hood and you use that, and that's Cody Rhodes running away.
Yeah. You did a good job.
That Charles Bronson promo poster was pretty badass, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
that Death Wish poster.
Dude,
yeah.
So
Yo, like
right,
one little promo took everything and it like made it so bigger than anything.
Just the fact that they had named the movie Brain Buster was so good.
What's gonna happen next week when Cody comes? You know how bad the boos are. Arn Anderson just called you a little bitch.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be so bad.
He's gonna feel the wrath. That's
Come on,
gonna
Lee.
happen.
You're the only one that listens to me.
Yeah.
Lee's like, I just told Cody that I'm in a relationship. I'm like, bro.
Tonight we are all over the place, people, because half of us didn't even watch none of the shows.
I'm not the half. I watched all the programming because they yell at me and they tell me I need to watch and be current with the product. Listen, this is a slave unit.
All right. Here's what's gonna happen, folks that are watching. We're gonna get through the month of October with our final Thursday night slam shows for our last 4 weeks of the month. We got only one Breakfast and Body Slam show, which is going to be on the 9th, but it's going to be done here, not in studio. So it's going to be Saturday the 9th. When we were in studio, we were doing it at 10. Gentlemen, do we still want to do it at 10 o'clock a.m., here, or we going to do 11 o'clock for that Saturday? Because coming, it's the 9th in 2 weeks, in 2 Saturdays.
Right.
Well,
because in studio
of interest is here.
Because in studio we were only at 10 a.m. anyway. So if you want to do it at 10, we can do it at 10.
Right.
From home. You can do it from home.
So here's my conflict of interests.
All right.
I'm either A, gonna be an AC from the 8th, 9th, and 10th, clicking away on some photos at GSW because I'm trying to make it down there.
Okay.
For the whole weekend. Or B, I'm going to be at my niece's football game in Bethlehem, and then all the way to go to watch some cosplay pro wrestling in Oaks.
Okay, so you're going to do it via phone from on. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. But like I'm saying,
look, if I'm live from a football game, it's still
even if you're driving,
laugh at how horrible they are.
Even like that one time, if you're on the road in your car, chime in. Just keep your earphones ready, whatever. Like I said, we're gonna go either 10 or 11 o'clock. What's good for wait, let me ask Austin, what are the show schedules for Saturday? Because I don't want to overlap on somebody else.
Saturday, Scrapple Boys is at 9.
Okay.
And
Gobblers
until 10.
And Gobblers at 8.
No, I'm pretty sure he's Sunday.
Okay, somebody's at 8 o'clock. Is it Old Heads or Sullivan?
It's usually the Old Heads.
Wait, but Sullivan switches
Sullivan's
hours to
on Mondays now, and
now.
I think Old School is Tuesdays.
And what about Combat Misfits?
They still do Sundays, and then also they do Sunday mornings and Wednesday night.
So Saturday's pretty much screwed over for everybody else. So okay, so Scrapple Boys are in at from 9 to 10. Why not we say 11, just so you can get out of studio and get home then if you need to be?
Yeah, that would probably work best for me.
Okay, so Saturday, October 9th at 11 a.m. will be our next Breakfast and Body Slams, and then come November, starting in November, we are going to go weekly on Sundays, and me and Dennis will flip-flop. Even though I'll be here for each one, Dennis will host one week, I will host the other week. So that first Sunday will be Dennis's week, and then I'll be on the next one. T, I'll still come grab you on those mornings. And as far as Thursdays, in November, we'll go every other week. So basically, when you look at our schedule, it's pretty much like a Thursday night slam, 2 Sundays, a Thursday Night Slam, 2 Sundays. So it's 1 and then 2. 1 and 2. So and the pop-ups is just popped up wherever the hell we are.
Right, when you least expect it.
Whenever that happens. So, and that's
I
ours.
did that on Saturday, or I did that on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we did that Sunday morning. He reached out to us. I was half dead because I had that I had that long day Saturday, and it was just me, him, and Mikey. So, but yeah,
I was sitting there getting coffee ready, and I seen your message, and I'm like,
yeah, whatever.
All right.
Hey, even if we're only on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, we get a little something out there. Dennis was live at the Keystone show, and some of the talent kept popping in on the screen. So that there was good.
That's awesome.
Good because you never know who's gonna pop up on.
Look, I got to talk about Sunday real quick. Okay, I really got to address something that happened on Sunday. Let me just tell you how much of a professional Gangrel is. This man threw his back out in California the day before, right? Still made the flight, still did the match in the worst body shape you could possibly think of. This man's walk to the ring, it hurt me watching him get to the ring. And all he could keep saying after the match to Breaker was, "I'm sorry. I wish I could have did better." And the only words out of my mouth were, "No, thank you, because you didn't have to wrestle."
Yeah, for real.
You could have sat at home and not come because your health is way more important. And Kareem literally showed the message that he literally said it to him. You if you're hurt, you do not need to be here. It's totally understandable. The man flew from California to Pennsylvania to wrestle a match hurt.
Absolute legend.
The most unrealistic thing I could have ever saw. First off, that was the first time seeing Gangrel wrestle in person besides being at a WWE show, and me taking photos was effing awesome. He's without a doubt one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the locker room. He was so he had no problem answering questions or anything. And then he even said, make sure I get photos to him on Twitter and stuff. Absolutely. It's going to happen. But the fact that he still made the obligation to be there. So now, when people listen to this and all you younger kids in the business, when we tell you don't wrestle hurt, we do say that and we do mean it. But if you do wrestle hurt, understand it goes a long way to everybody that you still wanted to hold up to your end of the bargain and to your commitment to a show. Yes, you're not Gangrel, which is even bigger because some of these guys and cats that have been doing this for 20 plus years don't have to. He still did it for the fans. He still did it for the workers. That to me, dude, that was mind-boggling that he did that. And when I mean he was in rough shape, you could tell getting into the ring he was hurting by the walk. The grunt, he was just not feeling it.
I'm just gonna guess if we go to his podcast, I'm sure he's talking about it because he has his own podcast and he keeps it up to date. So I forget the name of it. I think I might be Fangin' and Bangin' or something like that.
I think it is Fangin' and Bangin'.
Yeah, I forget if it's
Sounds
on
about
Facebook.
right.
I think it's on Facebook or YouTube. I think it's on Facebook though.
It might be all the platforms. I'm gonna listen to see if he has one recently.
Yeah. But
dude,
but the ones I heard so far, it's pretty much up to date stuff that whatever's going on now in the world of wrestling he's discussing. So who knows? He probably discuss him being injured and still doing the show probably.
That was one thing. The second thing, because I got to touch on the weekend because I was at indie shows just like you were, Chio.
Yeah.
WWA ran on Saturday night in Quakertown, and they packed the place. Packed. Quakertown Farmers Market. So I gotta say my hat's off to you, Dino, Santa, and Paul, for pulling that off. But it's because of who they had on the card. They had, AKA Zack Ryder, whatever you want to. I can't remember.
Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona. Dude's cool as shit. I thought he was tall as shit, but apparently he's my height. So I kind of felt cool. He's not that tall. But down to earth guy, really cool dude. I heard all types of things from these fans that they were so. He was standing there, he was talking with them. It wasn't like a have a good day, have a good day. He legit wanted to have a conversation with you if you brought something up, and he answered questions. But it was him versus Miami Maverick on Saturday for the main event. And when I tell you, Miami Maverick was nervous as hell. Like, this kid was literally pacing outside. He was like, it's really happening. This is really going to happen. What the hell? Like, freaking out. And then goes out and delivers, without a doubt, the match of the night. 100%. Match of the month, I'll say match of the year for Triple WA. And I've been to a lot of those shows. That definitely was match of the year. Those two delivered. Big ups, because Cardona didn't win. He got beat. Yeah. Yes. See, Chio, you got the same energy as I did for that one. But it was cool to watch. I didn't appreciate how, I went there to take photos around ringside, and I was like, oh, well, we got one photographer around ringside and a camera guy. But your photographer takes pictures like this. You want to know how he takes pictures? Instead of it looking like this, he was just like, I've seen like half of his photos, and they're crap. They're garbage. Complete shit.
JoJo, we need a booker. JoJo.
And I know, like, I don't work for Triple W anymore, so I really don't care. Like, I got respect for Dino and Paul and them and all the boys on the roster. I think, all of them went out there and gave everything they could for their fans for how big that night was for Dino and them. So I got nothing bad to say about the matches. Honestly, I was truly entertained the entire night. I was very surprised. But yeah, like
I gotta say, big ups to WXWC4, because I went down to Port Monmouth and it was Arts for Autism. A lot of bikers, bands, arts and crafts. The whole show was outdoor and it was for autism. So it was really cool. They came out. They put about 8 matches on, I believe 8 or 9 matches went on, but it wasn't really many kids there at the time, but there was a lot of bikers and they were loving it. They were so involved. It was an afternoon show and it went off without a hitch. I managed to do a favor for Invictus by bringing both sound systems that weekend, so I left here early in the morning, got there at 9 a.m., hooked the first sound system up, left it there at the building, went down to C4. I did their show. After the show, I quick packed up, threw it in the back of my truck, drove back to Invictus, which was like an hour north, made it there just after the doors opened up. Because the bell time was 5 o'clock. I got there about 4:15. So I was able to get up on the stage. I had to line up because the dark matches started at 4:30. So I had 15 minutes to quick get situated. So I quick hooked my laptop up, got the card, went. I had to go through all the music and everything, make sure I had everything queued up. There was a couple of hiccups where some of the songs wouldn't work properly, so I had to play them on a different player. But other than that, the card was being filmed and taped for IWTV. So we had a great crew there who I love working with, guys from GoPro as well as Xander doing on the lighting. We as always, us 3 groups together, we kill it. And JoJo was there doing her pictures at ringside too as well. So we all did our thing, and I had a good time, because by the time I got home, it was about roughly about 11, I think. So I got home about 11. So I was thinking I was going to get home like 12, 1 o'clock, but I was happy that I got home that early. And when I seen your message in the morning time, I'm like, okay, I'm not that much dead that I got to sleep in a little bit. Plus, then I took care of Andre's cage. Yeah, that's right. Andre in a cage. Andre cage, get it? But Andre
we get
Andre
you.
the guinea pig. Yeah,
we got you.
I just like saying Andre in a cage. Yes, I had a battle with him.
Like, look, I was exhausted as shit on Sunday. I did not want to drive anywhere. Like, I only went there. Originally, I went there is because Batista said, "Hey, I'm working a show on Sunday.
Yeah,
you should come." I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, maybe we can film, Reap the Future with Dennis Reaper that day." But, I got there at like 10:30, and the show was at 2, and the ring wasn't there yet.
Ah.
I even helped the ring up, and I was in like nice clothes. But it was all right. It was fun. Like, a little hectic. It was at a bar though. That was interesting. I got 2 beers while we were doing the podcast, and then they kept giving me these little like cups for free alcohol.
So how many people?
I'm not gonna argue. Free alcohol is free alcohol.
Right.
But yeah,
and
it was definitely a long day. Like, I honestly didn't think anybody was wanting to do the podcast on Sunday.
Well, besides us wrestling, how was your guys' weekends? Anything interesting besides football? No wrestling shows for y'all?
Nah, just was moving.
Oh, you were moving. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Well, you know what? We're soon about to hit the 2-hour mark. Like I said, we got the new schedule coming up, so we're gonna pretty much end this night early. I actually had fun chatting with Dylan. We love helping the new young talent to get somewhat kind of exposure to help them possibly get more recognition. If we can help, great. And we like having the vets on as well, so they can tell their stories as well. So guys, any final thoughts or anything you'd like to say to the people out there? Let's go around. T?
If you're going to try professional wrestling, make sure that your backs are correct.
All right. Mikey?
Yes, tune in to our show that we're going to do from home on October 9th at 11 a.m.
Breakfast and Body Slam, the PG
Breakfast. Yes.
All right. Dennis?
Let's see. What do I have? Let me look at my calendar real quick. Well, the only thing I can plug is ACPW in Media, PA at the Media Community Center on October 23rd, where I'm facing a guy named Kirby. Something named Kirby? I don't know him.
All right, we'll go with that.
I got to talk nice about the guy, but I don't really know anything about the guy. So I got to do my research. But, hey, be there, be square, because, you never know what kind of weapon I might use on somebody that day.
All right. Austin?
Scrapple Boys every Saturday, 9 a.m.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, Chio here. You're tuning into Thursday Night Slam. Thursday nights at 9:05, starting in November. It'll be bi-weekly, and we will put the schedule out. You all see that. And as well as weekly doing Breakfast and Body Slam Sundays at 11, and pop-up pipe bombs whenever we feel like doing it. Anytime, anywhere, with anyone. Simply go to bodyslams.pro, click on the podcast page, and you can like, share, comment, and subscribe to all of our social medias, such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, as well as you can go on there and view all of our past shows as well. They are in playlists as well. If you're on the go, whether you're riding a bike and you got your cell phone headphones on, or you're in the car, if you got Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, whatever, I'm sure we might be on it. You can tune in and listen to us while you're on the go as well. For everyone here for Thursday Night Slam, this is the Body Slams podcast team here. Dennis, Mikey, Austin, T, and myself. Pat's at home listening, writing down a note, telling how much he hates us.
No, Pat's sleeping and crying about the Phillies.
Yeah.
And the Flyers and the Sixers and the Eagles and the Union.
Flyers, I have no concern about. It's preseason.
Exactly.
The Union are undefeated in 4 straight. So let's talk about that off podcast. We'll have a chat about that.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Dennis Reaper's coming out with his own hot sauce. Just so you all know.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So, if you're not only a pro wrestling fan, but you like other sports as well, check out all the members at the Devereaux Sports podcast teams as far as the Gobbler Inc., the Sullivan Squad, the Old Head, the Scrapple Boys, the Combat Misfits. Did I miss anyone, Austin? And we don't have Redheaded Stepchild no more until we get one back.
That's everyone.
Yeah, well, yeah, short and sweet.
Convenciones de Lucha Libre.
Yeah, our affiliate over in Puerto Rico, as well as the guys at the Tornado Tag Podcast and the 2300 Wrestling Podcast. For everyone here, I'm Chio, and this is Thursday night, and this is Thursday Night Slam, and we are the Body Slams Podcast. Peace out.
Yeah.
Yay, love yous. Yay. I gotta end the broadcast. Bye.
Anytime.
I know. I'm thinking anytime. Exactly. It's still